It's been a whirlwind week on the homestead. We did everything from picking cucumbers for another round of pickles, cooking up a huge triple batch of cranberry applesauce, digging potatoes, harvesting tomatoes, and even welcoming over 100 brand new baby chicks. From preserving to planting to unexpected surprises, it's all here. Let's jump in. I was doing a little walkthrough of the garden yesterday and noticed that our pickling cucumbers are ready to be picked again. It has been 4 days since we last picked and we have a whole nother batch ready to go. It is a good thing because I was checking our pantry inventory and we are very low on the dill pickle chips that we have canned. So we need to can some more and refresh our supply. So it's time to get picking and see how many cucumbers we have. Little one. Okay. I don't like to share. Most years I end up sharing.
Well, you share with enough of your family. You don't want to share with the nature's family.
Yeah. It's a good size.
Yeah.
This is my favorite thing to pick. I just want to keep going.
Oh, the potatoes.
I love it. Yeah.
It's like the treasure hunt.
Yes, I love it.
It is kind of fun. And the kids like it too for that.
We're finally getting around to preserving our apples. What we're going to make today is cranberry applesauce. This is something that is fairly new for us. We've been making it 3 or 4 years. If you've been around, you've probably seen me make this before. Cranberry applesauce has mostly replaced the applesauce that we make because I find that our family will eat the cranberry applesauce plain, whereas just applesauce, they're not really going to pull it out as a snack quite as much. The other thing is we have so many apples and we just got the cranberries, so we have enough to do a triple batch, probably more than that, but I'm just going to start with that for today. Since this is a triple batch, I'm adding 6 cups of water, 30 pounds of the apples, 15 pounds of cranberries, all to a stock pot. And then I let those cook down first, and then we're gonna put them through the sauce maker. We're making such a big batch that it wasn't fitting all in one pot, so I had to get out an additional pot. This is the pot I usually use for water bath canning. It doubles as like a regular stock pot. So this bigger one is 30 quarts, if I'm remembering right. And I'm not sure what this smaller one is, maybe 20-ish. But once we put everything through the sauce maker, it should all fit in this bigger one because according to my recipe, it should make about 21 quarts of cranberry applesauce. As we've gone through this preserving season, we have definitely developed a little bit of a rhythm of what things we do. So we usually go out to the garden in the morning, we have lunch, come in and start on some kind of preserving in the early afternoon, and then work on that until like 4 or 5 o'clock. Then we start dinner, make dinner, finish, and after that is finished, then we finish the preserving project. Some days we were able to finish before dinner, other days we kind of like hit pause and then pick it back up after dinner time, and we're able to finish all in one day before it gets too late at night. This cadence has worked so well for us in the late summer, early fall season because it's cool in the morning when we're outside, and then when it's the heat of the day, we're able to be inside. And we're also able to be inside as our older kids get home, so we're able to spend more time with them chatting in the kitchen as we are working on these preserving projects. We finished up the cranberry applesauce late last night. The jars cooled and I took the rings off and they all sealed really well. So I'm just putting them away right now. We ended up getting a couple less than I anticipated. I thought I was gonna get 21 quarts, but I ended up with about 19. It was just a little bit over 19. I probably could have gotten 20, but I wasn't watching my pot super closely and it did scorch on the bottom a little bit. And anytime that happens, I just don't touch that stuff because it will affect the flavor of everything. So that is all the jars. Now it's time to head outside and get some stuff done out there. After a rough beginning with the potatoes, it looks like they are ready to harvest, at least these ones in the back. Our potatoes in the front, I don't think that hardly any of them made it. But
we'll find out.
Yeah, we're gonna find out soon. The ones in the back, I think we'll get a half decent harvest from them.
Cool.
Wow!
This variety of potatoes is a new one for us. It's called Sarpo Mira. Hopefully I'm saying that right this time around. And it did really well for us. This area in the back, it had much better drainage. I am so glad that I didn't have enough room in our front patch of garden space, and I had to put these in the back.
Lay it flat.
Oh, whoa! It's just, this shovel's attacking you. Okay, now we'll just take this. We'll just gently put these in here, okay?
If I had not have done that, then we would have got no potatoes this year pretty much, and that would have been really sad. 'Tis the season for preserving. We got more to do today. Trying to balance it out with doing some things outside and also getting this done, because both Cam and I, if we spend too much time inside, we start to go stir crazy. So we're making pickles with our cucumbers that we harvested a few days ago. I have been making pickles with the same recipe for like 4 years, and this year I am trying something a little bit different. I'm going to use a recipe from this book, and it takes a 24-hour salt brine soak, which is actually going to work out well for us today because we just want to get these cut and we want to go back outside. Just gonna cut off the ends. It seems like it's been a couple of years since I've canned pickle chips because, as you heard, we went into this very optimistic that we would just be able to get this done and go back outside and get some things done. But that didn't actually happen. We had so many cucumbers that we were there for probably 2 hours, and it's pretty tedious to just slice each one of these cucumbers. So Kim and I took turns working on this, and by the time we finished, it was time to make dinner. Our littlest kids were up from their naps, and also our big kids were home. So we didn't actually get to go outside as we had hoped for. But we were able to make up that time later in the week. Okay, we're at like 29 pounds. This thing probably weighs 2 pounds, so 27 is what we ended up at. Okay, I think I need to mix up some more. About 6:30 this morning, I got a call from the post office that our chicks had arrived. So Cam's on his way there to pick up the chicks. I am finishing prepping the brooder box right now. We got it all set up last week, with the exception of having the pine shavings in there, and we didn't put in the heat plate or the water yet. So I'm working on that right now, so it's all ready by the time Cam gets back. chickies today. Okay, let's take it over there. You hear that? What's in there?
Somebody's excited. Yep, I'm putting them there for now.
So right now we're putting all the chicks in one box. We need to set up the second box still. This is 100 chicks. These brooder boxes are 4x4, so we actually need 2 of them for them to have enough room. For right now, with them being really tiny, it's not a big deal that they're all in one for like an hour or 2 while Cam sets up the other one. All of the chicks that were sent arrived alive, which is pretty incredible. Another reason to order chicks this time of year. The weather was perfect and they arrived in less than 2 days. So they look very happy and healthy. The place where we order them from, they usually send a couple extra chicks just in case 1 or 2 die in shipping, but we didn't have any die. And in the past, when we've ordered in the hotter times of year, we have had up to 50% die in transit just because of the heat. So I'm really excited that they're all alive and doing well so far.
Board management with this stuff to make sure.
We got the second one pretty much set up. So we're gonna move over half of the chicks into here.
I'll finish getting everything set up so that both of them are fully functional. 5, 6.
You're having 4 at a time?
30. Yeah.
5, 6.
I've got to close it so raccoons don't get in here and eat them, okay? Let me close this one first. This one?
Raccoons.
Raccoons.
Raccoons. Raccoons.
Okay. Can you twist that latch? Can you twist that so it's closed?
When we first started getting into homesteading, a big reason for that is that we wanted to have all of the basic life skills to be able to provide for our family, especially if there was an emergency. Because we are really striving towards self-sufficiency for our home and our homestead, and as part of what we do every day, we rely on power still. We're not completely off-grid. For right now, power is beneficial to us. It helps make our lives easier. So we have to have some kind of a backup power solution so that we can keep our essential devices powered.
The unit we have right now, Jackery HP3600 Plus, is specifically designed for modern homesteads, combining power, safety, and portability all in one complete home backup package. Okay, one thing that Becky and I can pretty much guarantee here on the homestead is there's going to be something different week to week. For the next few weeks, we have meat birds that we need to keep warm at night. We do that with heating pads in each of their brooder boxes here. For the next few weeks, if a power outage were to occur, we would have to attend to these and make sure that they have heat. That's where Jackery comes in. I'm going to plug these heat pads into the Jackery to see what kind of power they draw to offer up a real life example of how we would keep these chicks warm at night if power was out. Okay, so these 2 heat pads are drawing consistently 92 watts of power, so that's right around 40 watts per brooder box. If power went out, Jackery would be able to keep the heat on for these chicks for a little over a day. So it would work perfect for us to charge the Jackery with solar during the day and then put the heat pads on at night and then repeat that process as long as they needed heat. If you ask any one of my friends, and yes, I do have friends, they will tell you that I am an avid gas engine lover, whether it be the hum of a chainsaw or the soothing roar of a diesel tractor engine. That said, I am thoroughly enjoying the sounds of silence from these Jackery power units that we use. They quite literally don't make a sound, and if they do, it's very faint, like quieter than a fan running in the background. There's a time and a place for electric and battery powered generators, and then there's a time and a place for the gas engines that make noise. Just don't tell my friends that I said this.
After testing out the Jackery HP3600, one of my favorite parts is its portability. The wheels and handle make it easy to move around wherever we need it, And the other thing that makes it a game changer is you can store it away and it actually holds its power. That means when we need it, whether it's for an outage or just running tools off grid, it's ready to go without any stress.
So if you want to take advantage of Jackery's lowest prices of 2025, Prime Deal Days are going on right now. Click the link in our description to get up to 65% off a Jackery unit.
We're on day 2 of harvesting potatoes. We are going to try to get the back half harvested today. What we did get done yesterday is all in the shed under cover, so it's dark and curing, right? Okay, so it's curing. So we hope to get this back half done today, and then we still have the whole front half of the garden potato patch to do. Don't know if we'll get to that today, but we might. That'd be cool. Yeah.
So since we're still in the back half of the garden, this is the same variety that I mentioned before, and we planted these back on May 1st, I believe, and we are harvesting on October 1st. The ideal time to plant potatoes where we live is the last week of March or the first week of April. So planting them in May, I remember being very worried that they were not going to produce, but they did end up producing thanks to it being a better area of the garden and using lots of hay to keep them cool. We finished up the back part of the potatoes. Now we are going to harvest just a few tomatoes before we head inside.
Yeah, feels like, so we got tomatoes to do, and we're in the thick of harvesting season, because after tomatoes are done, I got some hatch chilies I wanna pull out. It's busy and hot.
So we just finished up the tomatoes. Now we're going to head inside and work on canning those cucumbers that we prepped yesterday.
Pickles.
And it's been 24 hours that these cucumbers have been soaking in the brine. Now it's time to drain them. I'm going to have Cam grab them. This is really heavy. And drain it in the sink.
Okay.
It'll just drain like that. Mm-hmm. If I get enough of these pickles out of here, then I'll be able to actually lift it up and drain some of the juice. Oh, pickles, yes.
While Cam is working on draining the cucumbers, what I'm going to work on is mixing up the rest of the ingredients to go into the pickles, mainly the liquid part of it. So there's water, vinegar, pickling spice, and salt that needs to go into this saucepan, and I need to heat that up, and then we will start loading things in the jars. Pickles are actually pretty fast to can when you're past the cutting up step. So since we already have that done and in the brine, it was pretty easy to load up these jars and get them ready for canning. And luckily my kids were home and more than willing to help. So they got the jars all loaded and ready to go for me. So all I needed to do was add the brine to each of the jars, and then I just take a little chopstick down the sides of all the jars to get out all the bubbles and make sure they have the right headspace. I had the kids overstuff some of the jars because I thought once we added the brine that the cucumbers would cook a little bit and soften and we would be able to fit more, because we were trying really hard to fit all of the cucumbers that we cut up in these 30 jars or so that we had out, and we just didn't have enough space. So we heated up 7 more jars and got them all processed and canned and ended up with 37 pints. Hold you. Here, hold this hand. We are finishing out this week by harvesting this front area of potatoes, or at least what we hope has some potatoes. In this front area, we ended up planting 3 times because every single time we planted, the potatoes rotted. The 3rd time, they finally sprouted, but they quickly got overtaken by all of these holy basil plants. So they got shaded out, and then the blister beetles moved in.
I'm guessing we get 10 pounds of potatoes out of this front patch.
Yeah, that's probably an accurate assessment.
Because usually if I should like uncover some just by like picking up these root balls, but it's, you know, it's just nothing.
Well, here's one.
Oh, okay, let's weigh it.
Oh, look.
Oh, okay,
there.
good. Okay, we might get, okay, maybe 12 pounds. Okay. Where are they? Oh no, that's one. Okay.
One row done.
There's our spoils.
Very small amount down there.
Well, I didn't weigh it, but it looks like 4 pounds.
Whoa, whoa.
Ooh, look at that. That's a good size.
Nice.
Looks like we're staying kind of on track with the amount of potatoes we're getting per row. We got about 4 pounds from the first row, and Cam just added about another 4 pounds.
I feel like this row's gonna be our bumper crop.
We went inside for a little lunch break, and now we're back out and at it again. We're gonna finish up the job that we started. We're gonna clear out the rest of the basically holy basil that was here with a few potatoes interspersed in between those, and then we will weigh them.
We'll weigh our harvest.
I'd like to weigh our other stuff. It's a good thing we had that other potato patch, because
Yeah,
that's a half decent harvest. So one of the positive things that came out of this front area is we had so much holy basil here, and just with the zinnias and flowers, this area is completely covered with pollinating insects, and it has just been really cool to watch them and just beneficial for our bees, which are nearby. So it's kind of sad to remove all this, but there is definitely some left here and there interspersed throughout the garden. So even with this taken out, there's still plenty of things for them to get. It'd be easy to see our potato harvest this year as a failure, but I've learned there's always a silver lining. There were several good things that came out of this situation. One is that I got to try 2 new potato varieties. Another is our main potato area was always buzzing with pollinators thanks to the holy basil taking over. And I also learned that I can plant potatoes as late as May 1st and still get a pretty good harvest. And then due to the constant soggy soil in the front area of the garden where the potatoes were rotting, I now know which area of my garden would be great for planting something like celery. One theme has been constant in all the years that we have been growing food for our family. There is never a perfect garden year where everything does well, but somehow it all seems to balance out. Even though one crop may fail, for another it may be a bumper year. It wasn't our best year for the potatoes, but we've had our biggest ever harvest of onions, green beans, cucumbers, and peppers. So with a little determination and a lot of prayer, we always end up with more than enough of what we need to feed our family. One thing I love about homesteading is it reminds us that abundance doesn't come from a perfect harvest. True abundance comes from focusing on our family, faith, and having gratitude for what we have been given, even if the season unfolds differently than we expected.